Hello, 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 everyone. I'm Brenda Douglas, aka Real Estate Diva, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing the 10 commandments of buying a home. Now, these are rules that you must follow so that you can get the keys to your home, especially if you're planning to purchase a home within 3 to 6 months. You want to be aware of some of the factors that can affect your ability to qualify for a mortgage, okay? So, again, these are the 10 commandments of buying a home. Commandment 1: Thou shalt not change jobs, become self employed, or quit your job. The lender wants to see 2 years of steady employment, okay? So, you don't want to decide to purchase a home and then decide to change your job or become self-employed or quit your job. Okay, so you want to hold on to that job until the keys are exchanged or when to have you. The other thing is, thou shalt not buy a car, a truck, or a van. Okay, you don't want to make a big purchase like this because it will affect your debt to income ratio. Okay, true story. There was a guy who was looking for a home. He found a home, put a contract on a home, and signed the papers or whatever. They had a ratified contract, and then he said, "Well, why don't I buy a truck?" Well, he decided to buy a truck so that he can move the furniture. So he loaded up that morning, on the morning of closing, he loaded up the truck with all of his belongings, his brand new truck with all of his belongings. And he went to settlement. Well, the thing about settlement is they will run your check, check your credit at the settlement table. They'll check it one last time, and they noticed that his numbers were off because of this big purchase of this truck. Long story short, even though he had all of those things packed and he was ready to go, the deal did not go through because he no longer qualified for the mortgage. Okay, I always tell people the deal is not over until the keys are exchanged. Okay, so do not buy any large truck, make any large purchases, because again, it will affect your debt to income ratio. Okay, excuse me. Thou shalt not use credit cards excessively or let the current accounts fall behind. Now, for those of you who are using credit cards, first of all, you want to keep the utilization to 30% or below, okay? That's first and foremost, okay? Because again, it affects your debt to income ratio, okay? So don't use the credit cards excessively, and pay your bills on time. Let your accounts, make your accounts current. Don't let them fall behind. Okay. Thou shalt not spend money you have set aside for closing. Now, listen, some of you are sacrificing a whole lot to save money for your down payment, for your inspection, for your appraisal, and everything else that comes along with purchasing a home. Okay. Make sure that that is designated only for that, and don't dip in it. Sometimes we see a sale and we think it's a once in a lifetime thing, but right now you need to focus on the one goal, and that is to purchase the home. Now you can look for down payment assistance programs that can help you, and then that way you'll have more money in your pocket. I'll be doing another video about down payment assistance programs, but is so the money that you saved, you want to hold on to it strictly for the purpose of purchasing a home, and you don't want to dibble and dabble in it, buying little things here and there. One of the things I've learned personally is that those little transactions can really add up. Okay, so you don't want to dibble and dabble. You want to designate it. You want to keep it in a special account or whatever you have to do to not touch those designated funds. Okay, so do not spend the money that you have set aside to purchase this home. Now with the help of down payment assistance programs, which I think any and everybody should try for, whether you think you qualify or not. But with the help of those programs, you'll be able to have more money in your pocket. And then after closing is when you can splurge and treat yourself for working so hard to achieve the goal of home ownership. Okay. No, number 5, thou shalt not omit debts and liabilities from your loan application. Okay. So if you, so we all know what our debts look like. We all know what we've been through, what we've dealt with, and whether or not we've co-signed for folks, whether or not we're on mortgages elsewhere, whether or not we were married one time, purchased a home with someone else. We all pretty much have that, have an idea. We all pretty much know that. However, unless it's some kind of what is it called, identity theft or what have you. The point is, you should pretty much know what your debts are and your liabilities. So don't admit it on the loan application. If anything, bring it up to the lender and have a conversation about it. But you don't want to omit it. You don't want to not put it on the application. Because it raises a red flag, okay? The other thing is, thou shalt not buy furniture on credit, okay? Again, it affects your debt to income ratio. I didn't say you couldn't buy, well, I would save the cash, because the cash is probably, I would say save your money and your credit. I was going to say you can buy the furniture with cash, but that is a big purchase. So thou shalt not buy furniture on credit, okay? Even if it's, I don't know, I kind of feel like even if it says we don't check credit, don't take that risk. Wait until after you get the house, then deal with the furniture issue, okay? Thou shalt not buy furniture on credit or at all. And I say at all because, again, it affects your finances, okay? It affects your money if it doesn't affect the credit. Because sometimes there are places that, again, they have it where they entice you by saying we don't check your credit, but it's still money that'll come out of your pocket. So wait until after you leave. Wait until after you leave. Wait until after you move into your new place, and then you can worry about or think about furniture. Okay. Not only that, you don't want to buy furniture that doesn't fit the dimensions of the house. Deals fall through sometimes, even at settlement, and then you may have to go look at it again, and then this furniture that you purchase won't fit in a new house. The point is that let's think about the furniture after we get the keys, okay? Thou shalt not originate any inquiries into your credit, okay? Inquiries stay on your credit report for like 2 years, okay? And it affects your score, or it can affect your score after so many, okay? So, inquiries, and for those of you who don't know what an inquiry is when a creditor uses your credit or taps into your credit to see what your situation is like, what your financial, to look at your credit report, basically. So let's say, for example, you go to purchase a car, which I know you're not going to do because that was the last commandment, and that's one of the commandments that we went over. But let's just say, for the sake of this, of explaining what an inquiry is, you go to purchase a car, you sign the application, and then they start looking for lenders who will finance your car, okay? And so they send your credit file to all of these different lenders, and they have to look and see whether or not you qualify for it. That is an inquiry. That's an example of an inquiry. So you don't want to have any inquiries. When it comes to credit or your money, rule of thumb, just stay away from it. Just stay away from it. Better to be safe than sorry, okay? The next one is, thou shalt not make large deposits without checking with your loan officer. Some of you may have savings accounts in other places, and so some of you may have savings accounts in other places, okay? What they're saying here is you don't want to take large amounts of money and deposit it into this account where you're going to pay the house. What happens is the loan officer will check your statements, and if they see that you've made a large deposit, then you have to explain where it came from and you know, it can delay the process. Okay, so thou shalt not make large deposits without checking with your loan officer, without having a conversation with your loan officer to find out or to get advice on how or if you should even touch the funds, okay, that are in the large funds that are in this other account. Okay, so thou shalt not make large deposits without checking with your loan officer. Okay. Thou shalt not change bank accounts. Okay, because again, it raises red flags. What's going on here? You know, again, you have to account for monies, large amounts of monies, especially, and you know, how did it get there? Where did it come from? So, do not change bank accounts because again, it raises a red flag. Okay, and then last but not least, thou shalt not co-sign a loan for anyone. So someone may be in a situation where they need to buy a car or they're trying to do something with credit. They don't qualify, so they reach out to you to be a co-signer. Well, what happens is when you co-sign for this person, it's kind of like you take on the you assume the debt. So if their car is worth 10,000, then that 10,000 is connected to your name. Okay. So you want to stay away from co-signing for a loan for anyone. Okay. So guys, I hope that has been helpful. I'm still getting used to this whole video thing, but so those are the 10 Commandments of buying a home. I'm gonna do another one, 10 Commandments for selling a home. But so anyway, if you're planning to buy a home within the next 3 to 6 months, you want to follow these rules and these this advice to make sure that you qualify for the mortgage. Okay. Again, remember that the deal is not over until the keys are exchanged. Okay. Once the keys are exchanged and that home is yours, it is time to change the locks. It is time to celebrate. And you can reward yourself by purchasing furniture and then credit and all of the other good stuff after you get the keys to your home. Guys, don't work so hard to achieve the goal of home ownership and then come to the final stages of it and then have the rug slipped from you. Okay. Again, any large purchases dealing with credit or large amounts of money, again, you want to hold off on that until the deal is done, until the keys are exchanged. Thank you so much for watching.